Hey! So, welcome.
We're here. What an intro. That's
I'm
a great
excited, bro.
intro.
I just didn't even know what to say. Like,
That's a great intro.
this is episode 1,
Episode
bro.
uno.
Episode 1 of the Anomaly Podcast.
I was about to say, get your words right.
Welcome to the Anomaly Podcast, bro.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
This is the genesis. This is the beginning, bro.
Yeah, this is episode 1.
And it's only gonna get better. We're only gonna grow. We're only gonna expand. It will, bro. I know. I mean, let's hope, but gotta have some faith too.
Nah, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all joining us. We appreciate y'all joining us. Man, this is episode 1. Episode 1. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it.
Behind the anomaly.
Behind the anomaly.
Where should we start, bro? That's the real question.
Yeah. Oh man. Obviously let's start right here. This is season 1. Season 1, episode 1. And this whole
season 1 title
Beyond the
Athlete.
Athlete. So for those that don't know, we want to break this thing up into seasons.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That way you can see, what's in store and stuff like that. But this first episode, we're just going to talk about kind of how we got here.
Got to
I know
the
we
point.
kind of mentioned it a little bit in, our welcome videos.
Welcome videos, yeah.
But like, we can go more in depth of like, let's go behind the anomaly. Why are we calling it the anomaly? How did we get here? All that good stuff. But first, before we do that, how are you doing? You doing good? I just feel like we should ask how we doing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing great right now. While we're recording, I'm actively in my 1 month media fast.
Facts. That is true.
So I'm doing no social media, no television, and no secular music. So that's going well. I've done it before, and that's always great. So I feel good. I feel really in tune with the Holy Spirit, with God, and just praying about a lot of things that's going on that we can talk about later. But I feel good, bro. I mean, training's going back well. I started back Monday, I guess, like with my coach, because we had break and everything, and I was having some problems with my foot. But another story for another time. But no, it's going well, bro. Things smooth. Ain't nothing crazy.
I actually did the what was it, a month ago or something like that. I did the 1 month fast, it was the one. It was 1 week.
Like a week. Yeah, we did a week.
It was a 1 week.
We were preparing for this. We were just praying about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the 1 week to prepare, literally for this first episode.
Yeah.
Or like just everything.
That was like the early stages, just brainstorming, just like just submitting everything.
It's crazy because I called you. I forgot what I was doing. I was doing something. And I called you. Was it in the morning? Was it early in the morning? I don't remember.
It probably was morning time though.
But I just called you and I was like, hey man, I've been like, I don't know. I feel like this podcast, the success of this relies on me. I don't want that to be the case.
Yeah.
And then you were like, hey, I've had that same feeling. Like, man, I feel like we should just pray and fast, and that's kind of how. And I was like, all right, what you doing?
Nah, for real. That's really how it just
That's
popped
kind of
how it happened.
And I said, dang, no, that's what you. And at first, I will say, I'm gonna be honest with you, because when you first told me, no, what was it? No
social media.
No social media.
No TV.
No secular music.
No secular music. Yeah.
No TV.
Like YouTube or nothing. Like no.
Yeah, no YouTube.
No media. Honestly, pretty much.
So at first, when you told me that, I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Because I was gonna do food, but I was like, man, I like with training and coaching, I was like, I need food, because if not, I'm not gonna have any energy. Which you got to be smart about stuff like that. Yeah. But so I was like, man, let me do what Daniel's doing, and I did that, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just do the secular music. But I was like, man, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta go all in. And I will say, after that week, I was like, man, like this junk is actually it was cool. Like it was like
it is.
I don't know. It was different.
I remember the first time I ever did that fast, and it was mind blowing how different I felt afterwards.
Especially the music
21
part.
days. Yes, bro.
The music part is
especially
big.
for me, because I feel like I listen to music all the time. Everything that I do, I'm listening to music. Yeah. So just strictly doing worship music or Christian music, that alone changes a lot. But then taking out social media too.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much of that junk is just feeding into your mind.
I feel like sometimes when you get rid of Instagram or whatever, like social media, for a day or two, you're like, you want it, but then you're like, man, I don't really need this in my life.
Exactly, that's how it is, right? You do it for a little bit, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so hard. In the first like probably week, you're like, you keep thinking about it, and like accidentally pick up your phone, want to scroll, and then put it back down. And then after that, it's like you don't even miss that junk at all. After a week.
And then when you get back on it, you're like, this is what I was.
You be so geeked to log back in, and
but then you be like,
ain't nothing even happened. Like you didn't even miss nothing.
But so it was actually a cool. The music part, going back to that, it was a cool opportunity. I was riding in a car, and I was listening to John Keith. Have you heard of him? Mm-hmm. So I listened to John Keith. Listen to some of I got some good music.
That's some bangers out there.
And I like somebody was riding with me in the car, and it was just a cool opportunity that I could witness. Like, you know, he was like, "Man, I've never heard this before." I was like, "Yeah, you know." And then I played another song, and then it just turned into a conversation. Basically, like, why are you playing this music? But it was just like it was a cool thing. I got to tell him like, "Hey, I'm going on this fast, like, taking away secular music to prepare for the Anomaly Podcast." And you know, he was like the person was like, "Dang, that's actually like that's pretty cool."
Yeah.
And then like after a week, I was still not listening to secular music because I'm like, man, I'm just, you know.
Once you do it, right?
You just.
And especially when you find those artists that you really rock like, with, dang. And it's like Christian music, you're like, dang, right? Where this been my whole life? Because that's happened multiple times. Like I've done the fast different years, and every time I do it, I'm like searching for more music, and then every single time I feel like I find either an artist or a whole couple albums that I've never heard out of nowhere.
And you like, oh,
and it bump. I'm like, dang, okay.
I did need some new music.
For real.
But listen to the same song on repeat. But so the 1 month fast, that's dope. Like I said, I did the 1 week, and it was cool. But
that was early stage preparation thing. We're I guess let's go even before that. But before that, I'll start on my side. I said this in the welcome video, but a lot of just I don't know, I felt like God has been pulling me into being more vocal, more bold about my faith. And I've always been, like, I've never in any way tried to hide it in my sport, but at the same time, I felt like I definitely could have been doing a lot more. And I felt like coming into this year, this season for me, I definitely wanted to focus on doing as much as I could to just be bold in ways that maybe I wasn't before. Just go out of my way to actively like pursue putting God out there more, if that makes sense. Like not just in the way I live my life, which is a big part of it. Not just the Bible verse in the Bible. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like actually doing things, like setting actual things in my life set up for strategically getting the good news out there, spreading the word in whatever way I can. And that honestly led me to, I'm like, podcasts are hot right now. So, I mean,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Might as well go in there and do one that's faith-based, but also sports-related. So it's like, I'm a Christian athlete, and I've always felt like I was drawn to Christian athletes.
Right.
And I just met Avery maybe that week or a week before that. I don't know. A couple weeks before that.
Right.
And I was like, hey, bro, you trying to...
After we didn't realize we had been going to church together for probably months. But I had no idea.
A year, but for real.
And I literally would sit in front, like would sit rows in front of you.
Yeah.
But I had no idea who you was.
I mean, I saw you because let's be honest, man. But so many that 6'5" black guys
that is true.
In the church. Like I always saw you when I was at church, but we just never connected. And then we did, and I was like, "Dang, he a cool dude, bro." I think did we go to eat or something randomly?
Yeah. So actually, you were.
Gabrielle went to eat.
Yeah, you were gone. I don't know where you were at. I think you were coming back from the Olympics. I think you were
Actually,
you were still on your
possibly.
Olympic tour.
Possibly.
You
Yes,
know.
yes. Yeah, you're right.
Top dog,
I
right?
was-
Top dog, right?
I was still
All those
overseas.
regular people were still doing life.
That is my life, bro.
But like we were, after church, I knew a family that your wife was talking to.
Yeah.
And then the family came up and was like, "Hey, do you know who this is?" And I was like, "I don't know who this is." They're like, "This is this is Daniel's wife." I'm like, "All right,
Who's that?
who's that?" And they're like, "Oh, the limper runner." I said, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." And then we actually ended up going out to eat. You weren't even there. It was me, that family, and then Gabrielle, and we were just like, we were just eating. And then the next week
is when I got back. Yeah.
yeah, the next week we came over. It was after church. You came over, we talked, and you were just like, "Hey, you trying to go out to eat?" And if you know me, I love breaking bread. Breaking bread is I feel like more people out there should go break bread with people, because there's just a sense of like, you just get to sit and you have a good meal together.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I feel like I ain't gonna say it's biblical, but like you see that happen all the time in the Bible. Like you just eating, like conversing, like community. I feel like it's a good way. I don't even know why I just asked you, bro. I don't even know. I think because we always go out to eat after church, and I was hungry, and we was talking to you. I was like, "Hey, you trying to eat, bro?"
And I was like, hey, I will gladly. And then and then after that, that's kind of when it just, we didn't talk about any podcasts or nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we did then.
We were just talking about just sports and cutting up.
Just life, yeah.
Just
because you was telling us about like what you're doing now, like coaching and stuff, and mentoring a lot of the athletes. And then I knew you worked with Mercy Hill at some point.
Yeah.
So I knew obviously you had the faith. Like you wasn't just out there coaching and just like going to church, Right. You actually was like in it. So honestly, it was either you or I was gonna be doing this jump by myself. So it was like I know personally, like a moment of humility. I knew if I wanted this to be the best it's gonna be, I needed somebody with me doing that jump. 100%.
I appreciate you asking. And it was funny. It was funny because like we literally went to church that day.
Yeah.
It was before the service, or it was before or after. It was one of those.
I remember it too.
And you were just like, I remember it because you were just like, I tell people this all the time. You came up and you said, "Hey man, you ever done a podcast?" And the crazy part is I actually had one during COVID.
Yeah.
And then it was me and, some of my good friends, and we were just like, during COVID, we were just bored. Like we were just like, man, let's just get together, talk about sports, cut up, laugh, joke around. So I had done it, just I was basically letting them talk a lot or whatever, and I would just put my 2 cents in. But like it was fun, and I enjoyed it. So I was like, yeah, I've done a little bit. Like I know what to do.
Yeah.
And then you were like, man, I think you would just be good at it. And I was like, I appreciate that. And he was like, you trying to do one with me?
you try to hop on?
And I was like, but it was crazy because it was like a no brainer. Like I didn't even have to think. I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was not even, there was no like, hey, let me give it a week. Yeah. Let me think about it. Or like,
I'm pretty sure you said yes right there.
Yeah, I said yes right there. I was just like, and I feel like that's, in a way, the Lord kind of orchestrating steps and just being like,
before we even was prepared.
Yeah. And it was just like, because I even think about like when we met each other, it was like easy getting to know, like it was just, everything was easy.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so it was just like one of those things was like, why would I say no?
Yeah. I mean,
I have the time and the things that we want this to be about. It's like, oh, that's the world I'm in.
Exactly.
So I'm like, why would I say no?
Yeah.
And right then and there, that's when I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No name, bro. No nothing, no plan, none of this equipment.
At that point, not a lick of this equipment.
Not even the place that we're in.
True.
Now think about it.
True.
This was, we were not,
Dang,
this was, none of this.
We wasn't in the house yet.
No. So it was none of this. So it was just like, yes, it was just, all right, let's do it. Let's figure out how to do it. And
just saying yes.
Here we are.
And moving along with it. Hey, I mean, but we made a lot of progress. Even like what we have now, like obviously this is not anywhere close to no like professional setup or nothing. But look, I'm proud of it. Like,
it look like we know. We look like
we
know what we're doing.
We know a little something. We not playing. Hey, give us a year or two, bro. We gonna get right for sure.
It look like we know what we're doing. Just a little bit.
We did a little something, bro. It's straight.
Yeah, we on level 1. We still gotta go.
Hey, small beginnings, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with small beginnings, bro. For y'all folks, ain't nothing wrong with small beginnings.
No, you gotta start somewhere.
We here today. We gotta start somewhere.
Just
start. Honestly, this is a side note, but just start. Like, if God put something in your heart, just start, bro. Like, it don't gotta be perfect. Cause that's another thing I was telling him the other day. Actually, like the way I am, I wouldn't have posted. I would not have posted the first video for this podcast until like 2026, because I would have been having to get all the 3-4 different camera angles, all the lights, the accent lights, the perfect chairs, schedule all the guests, everything. And it's like, bro, like, just get it going, like, get in a rhythm, just let it out, just talk to the camera a little bit, get comfortable when people aren't watching, so that when all the eyes do come, when God does elevate us, we can represent him well.
We know where we started.
We know where we started, bro. We know where we came from, bro.
We know where we came from.
Started from the bottom.
Right. the very bottom.
Hey.
But yeah, so
talk about the setup.
right. But no, like that. So that's kind of how the podcast idea started.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like you can probably speak to this too, but it obviously not specifically the podcast, but the heart behind it started long before.
Oh yeah, like long before.
For me, I think it was probably, I'll say like 9th grade when I first like made the decision of my faith being my own. Like, I grew up in the church, but when I first like made the decision myself that I'm gonna follow Christ, 9th grade, and I feel like ever since then, I have had the desire, not necessarily to spread the news as far as like preaching, but I've always had the desire to be that light in someone's life. And obviously, me being an athlete, those are the people I was around. That's what I knew. Like, it was just comfortable. Right. I'm always either coaching somebody or training with somebody, going through something with somebody in the sports world. So it just, for me, it wasn't like a God spoke to me and said, you need to start a podcast and name that thing The Anomaly. It wasn't that, but it was just God put in my heart, spreading the good news. I'm a Christian. I'm an athlete. Why not reach Christian athletes, people I can connect to? And I have a little bit of a platform, so use that junk to push the good news. I mean, use it all. That's essentially what it was. It was not like God was building me up to be this perfect person for a podcast. Right. Because it's not that at all. Obviously, as you can tell, I speak really fast a lot of times, and I be having to slow myself down. So I just be going, and sometimes my mind going faster than my mouth. And so right now, I'm talking nice and slow for you guys. But no, for real.
Now I'm gonna know if I see you go like this, and then you start going, wait a minute. He's growing in this moment.
I feel like I've gotten better at it just thinking about it. But at the same time, if I get like excited about something, I'm just talking, I'm just just going. But can't hold you.
Yeah, I would say like for me, talking about the like it's always, to your point, like it's always been there. Yeah. Just because, like I grew up in church, so it was like that's all I knew. But it was, you grow up in church, like,
yeah, for real.
But it didn't really like. I mean, I guess like everybody, you don't really start walking it. Yeah. Till like, freshman in high school. Yeah. Around like you said, 9th grade, kind of like where it's like, okay. Yeah, I got to be somebody.
It's definitely a turning point, just in life in general. Where you're making a lot of decisions.
Yeah, you make like who you gonna be, who you want to be.
Exactly.
And so it's like, I just remember, it's crazy now I think about this. I actually didn't even think about this. When I played basketball, there was somebody that was in the yearbook, and they were like, man, you've had a good year this year. Like, what would you give credit to? Like, like, why are you so good? Basically, how are you so good? Because you were not this good last year. How are you so good this year? And truthfully, it was like, I had two options. It was like, I can sit there and say, I've been in the gym like a lot, which, I was in the gym all the time.
Yeah.
But really what kind of what transformed my play style, or like how I played and what I did, I was like, man, God has given me this talent and ability.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he has created me to be 6'5". I can jump, I can play basketball, I can shoot, I can do all these different things. And and I can worship him by playing. Yeah. Not worship him just by singing. Like, everybody thinks, you can worship him in everything you do.
Everything, for sure.
So I was sitting there, so that was the thing that just flipped the switch for me, where it was like, man, if I'm going out here every day and I'm not giving my all, like, I'm not saying like I was playing hard, but it was like my talent all. Yeah. Like, man, I'm this is an act of worship. Yeah. And when that's I'm going for the audience of one. So now it's like, now my playing it changes, because now it's like, you gave me the ability to dunk the basketball. Yeah. If I don't dunk it, then what is that? Then I'm just saying, like, I appreciate it. But it's like, man, so it completely changed. And I told the yearbook guy that, and it was crazy. Like, his response was like, dang, like, I was not expecting this response. And then like everybody, like, it got a whole bunch of retweets and stuff like that, because it was he put it on Twitter or whatever. But it was just like one of the moments I was like, man, it's not about me. Yeah. And that, I say all that to say, kind of like bringing it back in, it was like, early on, we're on YouTube talking to everybody about our faith and about, the walk that we had and stuff like that. But it's like them small little things early on
100%
prepared us for, hey, do you want to do a podcast? Yes. What are we talking about? Faith in sports. Yeah. This sounds like a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of cool how, the Lord has
been orchestrating,
from the beginning.
Years. Yeah.
So
dang. That is crazy.
So the anomaly, why? I guess it wasn't going to be called the anomaly.
Okay, so
it was not going to be called this.
The original, like, first draft title for the podcast was Beyond the Athlete, right?
That's what this. Yes. So the season is called Beyond the Athlete, and it was like a tribute to, like, hey, let's show that some love a little bit.
It really was. You we can't just leave it out the drop. Right. But, like, I mean, it makes, like, it wasn't bad at all. There wasn't anything about it that I didn't like.
The anomaly, I will say, the anomaly was not my idea. So I'm gonna let him take this play part away.
But yeah, like I was like, Beyond the Athlete was not in any way like a bad name. I feel like it's perfect. It gets the idea across of what we're talking about, like, beyond being an athlete. But honestly, what changed my mind, not changed my mind, it just sparked something else in my mind, was I was listening to the song Fall of Rome.
I'm about to say, you can't look at me in this one.
I was listening to the song Fall of Rome by DJ Michael V in 1988.
Oh.
Bodega 2.
Oh, okay.
The song Fall of Rome, and Lecrae's verse, the first verse of the song. And it was bumping. I was like, damn, that thing go.
I don't know what song you're talking about, but I'm vibing with you.
It was bumping, and then there was a part in the song, like, he's doing his verse, but then the beat kind of like drops, and then he says, like, the words, the anomaly. And for some reason, that jump was just, those words was just so loud in my head. When he said it, I was like, that's it. Like it's got to be the anomaly, because like.
So what is the anomaly? Because it means something. So like, talk to us about like what
we can pull up what the daggone definition is for real.
Because I know Lecrae, he has a song.
He has
called
the whole album is the Anomaly.
Yeah. So I know it's like, and he also, I was listening to a song the other day. I'm not gonna sit here and butcher what the song title is, but I know like he has a verse where he explicit, like, so he doesn't just do that one time in a song.
Yeah.
Like he's multiple songs. He
Yeah.
mentions the anomaly.
Yeah,
or like
sure.
being an anomaly or something like that. So you've had the definition of what it is?
Yes, I do. I'll read the definition first, I guess. The definition for anomaly. This is on daggum Oxford language, something like that. It says something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty cut and dry. I mean, there, for real. But no, okay, hold on. Let me rewind. Lecrae also has the album.
Yeah.
But on that album, one of the songs is Anomaly.
Anomaly.
That thing goes stupid. Anomaly. And in there, if you guys don't know, which you probably don't, but I love Lecrae. Like, I've been listening to him since I was in middle school, and I listened to every single album that's come out, even that album. But in this moment, fast forward to now, when I'm thinking about the name title and we get to the Anomaly, I hear the first song and then I go to Lecrae's Anomaly album and I was like, let me just listen to this, see if it has anything else. And then I go to the Anomaly song and I've never heard that song before, bro. Before I listened to it that time, I was like, how have I never heard this?
Never
like,
heard the song?
I listened to every single one of the songs on every single
that song
one of the
was in
albums.
hiding. So then when you listen to it, you're like, wait.
I think God
Uh-huh.
just like took the song out of the album for the past 4 years, blinding me from seeing that song and hearing it.
I said, I'm gonna drop this
until just now.
and I'm gonna drop. Hey, that'd be crazy though.
That would be crazy.
That'd be wild.
But no, that's what it felt like. I was like, how did I miss the song? Because
Right.
it was hard. It's not like it was just like one of the sleepers.
Yeah,
like
no.
you just skip over
The song goes.
It was good, and I was like, dang. And the whole song, it was literally speaking exactly what it feels like for me, but also when I want to convey through this podcast of living the life of a Christian athlete really is.
Because I was about to say, yeah, definition like being
something
being
that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected.
And I was like, I mean, we both know in the world of athletics and athletes, you know, it seems like everybody's a believer.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah.
Which
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm better than now or like, but it's like, I mean, I think about growing up. I feel before every game we said the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
and you always see when someone's getting some award, the first thing they do is thank
God. And it's but the tough part is being around it and looking at it's like, man, we sit here and say the Lord's Prayer and stuff like that, but then before games, but then that the same person that said the Lord's Prayer, and I'm not saying we struggle with things.
Yeah.
But it's like, so hey, there's no other way to start this, but that camera, the juice ran out.
No, so the juice ain't run out.
The recording, the camera can only record for 30 minutes.
30-minute increments. And we like we said, we're new to this, not true to this.
And the episode went for 40 minutes.
So one thing that's good, if you want to hear the whole episode,
yes,
we have it on Spotify. Is that it? That's the only place it's gonna be on? Spotify,
yeah,
right?
Spotify, and it'll be on Apple. It'll be on Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can hear the whole thing smoothly. But unfortunately for YouTube, we got 30 minutes.
Hey, we apologize.
And that's on us. That's on us. We ain't know that. But just know, Episode 2, we coming with it. We got them 30 minutes is gonna be pow pow. Right. That's it. In and out.
We will be better. Hey, because there's one thing I know is being an athlete and stuff like that. Like it's not, you can perform. Sometimes you have bad days.
But as long as you don't do it again.
As long as you don't do it again.
You come back and you grow.
You grow from it. You grow from it. So like Daniel was saying, if you want to hear the full thing, it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Yeah. But seriously though, we hate that happened. But we just wanted to get back on here and say, like, if it looked like it was an abrupt ending, it's because the recording it ran out. So, but we just want to come back on and say that we apologize and we'll be better next time. We'll own that.
I guess we can add the things we were saying at the end.
Oh yeah, we can just.
We hope that after this episode,
right?
Once we get into it, we get in the rhythm, that if anything speaks to you guys or it helps you in any way, always ask that you share it with somebody else that you think it would help as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, subscribing, the comments, all that stuff helps too. But the reason for this is to spread the word. So if you guys can do that, you guys can play a part in that and help the Anomaly grow, but just help the good news about God and Jesus Christ grow at the same time.
Grow and spread.
That's what it's all about, bro.
Yeah. So take number 2. With that being said, we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all episode 2.
Hey.
See you then.